Martin Luther King Jr. Day Lesson for Kids. Martin Luther King Day is also referred to as MLK Day. It is a federal holiday in the United States that is celebrated on the third Monday of January each year. Martin Luther King Jr. was actually born on January 15, 1929. King is popularly known for his nonviolent activism in the civil rights movement, which protested against discrimination in federal and state laws of the United States of America at this time. He was assassinated, unfortunately, in 1968, and following his death, a federal holiday was set in his honor. This holiday was signed into law by then-President of the U.S., Ronald Reagan, in 1983, and observations of this day only started 3 years later. Not all states initially observed this holiday. It was not until the year 2000 that all 50 states in the U.S. started celebrating MLK Day. To understand why King was so important, it is important to understand a bit about him as a person. He is of African American descent and was born in Atlanta, Georgia, the second of 3 children. His parents were Michael King and Alberta King. The history of slavery and racism that the United States experienced in its early days stirred the spirit of activism in King. He saw his parents actively involved in the fight against segregation and various forms of discrimination. The humiliation his parents went through in the segregated South made him even more determined to become an activist in the future. King was also a church minister and a well-educated man. He received a Ph.D. in systematic theology on June 5, 1955. Some manifestations of the segregation between whites and blacks at King's time included separate seats for whites and blacks on public buses. However, in December 1955, a lady by the name of Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white person on a city bus. It sparked an outcry after she was arrested. In response, this led to the Montgomery boycott led by King. The boycott lasted 385 days. During this time, King was arrested and jailed. It ended when segregation on city buses was terminated by the U.S. District Court. From this point on, King became a national figure, and blacks were free to ride on city buses without segregation. King helped organize the 1963 March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, where he delivered his I Have a Dream speech on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. These events also projected King as a national figure and a spokesperson for the civil rights movement. His legacy lives until this day. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel.